There, welcome to this video. We're going to do quick due diligence on a token I just found by this Twitter account, Use Combo. It has an organization check on X, although that doesn't necessarily mean that it's safe and stuff like that. So in the course of this video, we'll do due diligence. Uh, Now, of interest is that it's launching out of TaxFarm. TaxFarm is a launchpad that I recently did a video on. It's like the pump fund for Ethereum. So after I found Ether Vista, I found TaxFarm, and I liked its model, even compared to Ether Vista. Check out my video about TaxFarm. That's why it's of interest here to further do due diligence on this. Generally, on TaxFarm, a project that launches on there cannot launch for free or with a small amount. They need to add at least one ETH into the LP, which will be refunded to them later on, but they need to have that before launch. So that's a bit of a protection for the end user, considering, and based on that, you will notice very quickly that, wow, it has skyrocketed since I saw it. So just before this video, I saw it at around 7,000, but I consider this still early based on this due diligence. So I found this project on X, and I was led here. I decided to get some because at this stage I'm still learning, trying to gather data, and I learn through practice. I don't mind the associated loss in the event of a loss. At this stage, I would say I'm at profit if I decide to sell. But after this due diligence, we will determine if it's of relevance at all to maintain a position in this project. By the way, everything I do is a documentation of my own doings. This is educational overall. It's not to tell you to do the same. I'm basically going to carry out due diligence in this video, and I'm documenting it. My style of content are ulogs, so a form of content I created that is Web3 native. It's non-edited and stuff like that. It documents my own evolution. Please take note of that. So let's quickly do due diligence on this, starting with the Twitter. So the Twitter, it does have an organization check, which is a positive in general, but we all know that many of these unsafe profiles, they get an organization to create an air of safety or security. But if you look at the affiliates here, you will see that an affiliate of this organization is another token project called PopDog that has a measure of history. So if you check this, there is a market for it with around $1 million market cap on the Solana chain, and a measure of traction here as well. It's also an organization. Okay, so that's where I started out. That piqued my interest. Okay, now that said, I did check, this profile on tools like Get Money and stuff like that. It's a new profile, doesn't have too much information, but there are some influencers or calls following, 2 or 3 of them. Now that doesn't necessarily mean much, because a call may decide to follow just to track the progress, not exactly backing it. But don't please bear with me. This is not my PC, so things are not it's not well set up yet. Okay, so basically I checked, not much information to gather considering it's a new profile. Now I liked that it's launching out of this platform. It gives you a measure of protection. Like I said, for the launch to happen, the user in question or the dev needed to have around 1 ETH to add to the initial LP. So it's not like Pump Fund where contributors have to bootstrap the LP. There has to be 1 ETH contributed to the LP by the dev, which will be refunded later on, but not immediately. Now, there is usually a tax of 5% at the outset. Within a 24-hour window, there is a tax of 5%. This generates revenue, 80% of which goes to the dev, but not exactly the dev. at this stage. So for the token to fully launch on fully launched, let's put it like that, although it has launched already. And that's the good thing about TaxFarm. When you deploy a token there, it already launches on Uniswap. So it becomes trackable already from on Dex Screener. But the only thing is that the LP will not be burned at the outset. The LP is only burned when the 1 ETH mark is reached, 1 ETH worth of revenue. This is approaching that. It's already at 0.7 ETH. Once there's 1 ETH worth of revenue, the LP is then burnt. Then when you go to Dex Screener, you will notice that there is a lock icon here, whereby it now becomes safe for you to interact, because there is always going to be LP available to trade in and out of. Then at that stage, over the course of a short period, the dev is refunded through tax. I think his initial LP, after which the tax becomes reduced to 1% on buys and sells, and then all the checks on the contract will be solid here. At this stage, it's not solid because at a later time, this tax will be reduced to 1. So the contract still needs to have the ability to make changes. After its LP is burned and tax is returned to 1% on buys and sells, then all these flags will be removed. Okay, so I did find I found it here, and I decided to do further due diligence. This is the deployer wallet. So if you copy this, if you copy this and go to Etherscan, let's go to Etherscan here. Now of interest is the wallets that deposited the 1 ETH to this deployer wallet. If you look at the transfers here, you will see that this wallet has $96,000 in value. Now this wallet, which also sent a portion of ETH. Now this is superficial due diligence, not too much. Also has so 40 ETH. And let's see the third one. Oh, okay. It's the same wallet, likely the same wallet, but there's some value here. I don't want to go in deeper. If you want to go in deeper, you may want to use, say, let's say we use this. Again, this is not my PC, so it's not allowing me to. I'm still gradually transitioning onto this PC. Tycho. Okay, let's leave it at that. So that's one of the things that interested me about the token. There are some things I didn't like exactly, but can be overlooked, because I went down to the start of the token. Although I don't know, I cannot check further. But here, now this is a positive. Quite a large number of the supply was distributed to the LP against 1 ETH. The total supply is 1 billion and 800 was deposited against 1 ETH, which is why you will see the LP compared to the market cap and FDV is almost tallying. So a large bulk of the supply is already out in circulation, in the LP from the outset. Now, I did a tutorial video about TaxFarm hours ago, and I didn't understand a part of it. If you can actually select the amount, I would assume that you can, I would assume that you can. Just a moment. Okay. So, so it doesn't look like you can make uh, any tweak to the modalities of, I mean, like have a portion of the supply. So it's totally a fair launch. But if you read the documentation of the documentation, it looks like 20% of the supply will be given to the token creator when the LP becomes burned, that they can use to further the project evolution. I believe so. I saw that somewhere. And that may explain why 80% of the supply was put in the LP and 20% kept, which will be returned to the dev to further enhance the project over time. I can't remember. I think I saw that. Where did I see that? Let's quickly see here. So, understanding the nature of the platform is of relevance at this stage. It will help you in your due diligence. So, at least you know when you are dealing with a token, what is obtainable. So let's just quickly see, how can I recover my liquidity if the token fails. So if the one ETH revenue is not raised, liquidity will be returned to the deployer. Just a moment. Okay, how does clogging work? Okay, so supply clogging is a mechanism where 20% of the total token supply is reserved to create a financial buffer. This clogged supply is used to ensure that the creator can recover their initial liquidity if the token does not perform as expected. It also helps to maintain a fair pricing structure for buyers during the token's launch. Okay, so anyway, I will process that later on. For now, the things I like I said, I like that the at the outset, the dev has to supply one ETH. Also, they don't have any portion of the supply. The thing I don't like, but this may not be the doing of the dev or something, is although we will not check, because you can't necessarily catch this with the likes of bubble maps and stuff, is you will see some buys at the very outset. I don't know if they're in the same block or something. Similar buys, 10 million tokens. Not very large buys, but multiple of them at the outset and a corresponding sell. So that was very early on. So it may not be the dev, it may be someone, playing with bots and stuff like that. It may be an effort to generate volume or a healthy looking chart at the outset, which can be a good move after all. At this stage, as we speak, looking good. The narrative as well was what interested me the most, although I can't really determine what it is about, but it has the mystery element, the memeability element. So it's basically says combo, use combo to fight the cells. Combination is 1, 2, 3. Rule 1, never talk about the fight club. When you yeet, you lose. And then there is this imagery, very simplistic, but it tells me of a token that has the ambition of running, going in the opposite direction of the JITs, something like that. Here, Dex Tools has been paid, which is a positive. Generally, people focus a lot on paying Dex Screener and neglect Dex Tools. So I consider this a good move and a serious move. Okay, so Dex Screener has not been paid, but Dex Tools has. Okay. Now, I went to the Telegram and the vibe there is quite good. I found the Telegram, you'll see I was there earlier. I found the Telegram at 23 users. It was just being set up basically, and and now the Telegram has grown. There is interaction and stuff like that. The owner is also there. So there seems to be some a measure of seriousness altogether when you are dealing with uh, tax farm. The good thing here is, in reality, except you are not, I don't know what the person can be to want to cheat on his own project in this type of atmosphere. Because if you look at the leaderboard here, although I'm seeing people cheating on their token, devs trying to rug pull their tokens and stuff like that, it's just illogical because the token is already listed on Dex Screener. Why don't you just join in and earn as much revenue as possible? In fact, there's a token here that earned just reaching a $1 million market cap, and the token earned likely this token $151 in revenue from taxes. This is in the jurisdiction of a day or less. So why should you uh, want to rug early and stuff like that? And if you look at Combo, amongst all the projects I've seen so far, on here, there are 133 tokens total. This is also a safer haven than Pump Fund that generates, say, uh, 7,000 tokens a day, because here you need that one ETH in your wallet to be able to launch, even though it will be refunded. So there's a measure of seriousness here, a measure of protection, due diligence by default, considering the token count. Now, if you look at all the tokens featured so far on here, I still consider this combo as catchy enough, unique enough. Many of these are a replica of existing projects. This appears unique. Uh, Now, I've not checked actually if there is any token like this on the likes of, let's see if there is something like this. There is likely to be, but then you look at the concept as well. Let's okay, so there is one, two, but this is the concept. Now, I don't know if it's the same dev may have attempted this without success and attempted to do and now attempting to do so, having found um tax farm. It's very possible. You will see here that this is new. I've experienced that myself, and the user, I've experienced that myself. I'm not very sure if it's related, but very possible. Okay, now, but of interest more so than pump fun is, let's type combo here. Now, I'm already gauging the prospect of this when it comes to a 100x and stuff like that. So if you type combo here, you will see that for the search query combo, it's the only one on Ethereum. Name combo, ticker combo. Here you have combo token associate. This is paired against Cabuso. I don't know what this is. So search wise, people will find it easily, identify it easily when they search with combo on Dex Screener. Now, besides this one on Ethereum, there is combo token. I don't know what chain this is. Maybe the Binance Smart Chain. I'm not very sure. And there is one Furo combo on. So easy to find. I believe that it does have the potential altogether, even in terms of its memeability. And if you and you'll get more context inside the chat room. And that's all of the due diligence I did. I got a small amount, but like I said, in my case, I'm gathering data. So I am exploring the prospects that tax farm presents. And to do so, I also did staking. just to gather data so that I can share the result of that. Not a large allocation, but staking gives you a share of this revenue. So far available to share with stakers is around 50,000 to stake. You need to have the native token of the platform called Farm. Okay, so the results I'll be sharing in the course of this video. If I was to sell now, I'll be in some profit, but I'm going to see where this can reach. When the LP is burned, it becomes fully established as on a deck screener with LP burned, tax reduced. I would like to see where it's headed as a project. So I would generally, I'm a holder, so I would, let's see where this reaches. And that's about it for now. That's the due diligence I've done so far for this project. You can check it out as well. This is the Twitter use combo, and most especially join the Telegram, ask your questions. I did ask a few questions here, but I was not able to track the answers fully because I wanted to do a video before it reaches this level. Okay, so yes, I'm thinking that like deep down, I don't see why. Yes, the only question, okay, yeah. So the only question I have at this stage that I will really want to find answers to is the 20%. How is it distributed to the deployer after the LP is burned? I've asked that question on the TaxFarm chat, but the pace here is too much that I've not got the answer. So that's the only thing missing, because I've seen some TaxFarm tokens. Once LP is burned, it becomes established on Deck Screener. They end up dumping. So I don't know the pace at which they are giving the 20% of the allocation, the unclogging period, how long it takes, and all that. If they're giving at a go and then they decide to sell, and dip the price, I'm not very sure. So that is the only missing piece. Now, if it's given in installments over the course of a period, then one may decide to stick around. I mean, to may not be so worried about selling before this window closes. So I'll need to find out about that. I'll reveal that information in the next video. And that's about it for this video. Let me end it now. I didn't even check the state of the stream, if it's the sound is good and stuff like that. I'm not even sure. Let me. Okay, if you find this video, subscribe on all platforms, YouTube, and I'm streaming on multiple platforms. And for your trading needs, your default DEX should be bullx.io. To gain access into it, you can go to bullx.io/web3wikis. It will take you to the Telegram where you can get onboarded. Using it also as an airdrop. It's as sophisticated as can be, helps you interact with meme coins and coins on 6 chains, including Solana. So if you want to be safer on the likes of Pump Fun or Moonshot, you have Pump Vision to enable you to do so. Also has an airdrop based on your use and volume. Then to combine to this is Tron Bull X, which they built recently for Tron. If you're trying to dominate the Tron meme coin season, this will help you drastically, not only because of Tron Vision that organizes some pump related launches and enables you quick buy, with more safety, but also because of advanced sell features such as DCA. You just need this as your default DEX when you're having DeFi expeditions. And that's about it. You need an invite for this as well. The invite for both platforms will be in the description. I'll be ending this video now. Stay awesome. And finally, if you have questions, just go to airdrop C. And avenues to reach me is there, including a chat avenue here. You can also subscribe to airdrop reminders. Stay awesome, take action.